Hey guys, so today I do think it actually is necessary to make another video discussing the recent changes to matchmaking in PvP. So before we even jump into this video and what I want to discuss here, I did make a video previously discussing the changes. I believe it went up around 2 weeks ago. It was only a couple of days after the changes went live, just because it was so obvious how bad the changes were. That it took almost no time to realize that something needed to be said about them. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out this isn't a good idea. So I will leave a pinned comment down below with the link to that video. So I recommend that you guys check that out first before watching this if you haven't watched that video already, because it outlines better than I can probably do in this video my thoughts about the changes and why I think those changes are very bad for the game. So I recommend going to watch that first and then coming back and watching this video once you have gone and done that. So I'm not going to go into detail about my thoughts on the changes. I think everyone has similar ideas and feelings about the changes for matchmaking in PvP. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out that video in the pinned comment. But the reason why I felt it was necessary to make another video discussing this is because if we go into the news here, so I will go into the news of the game. Let's see. So there should be a tab for the season of PvP. Here we go. Space-Time Duel Renovation Preseason. So, this is preseason number 2, by the way. So let me just scroll down and see if they have an explanation here. Let's see. I don't know if they talk about it. Yeah, I don't know if they talk about it, but in the first... I believe it was in the first, give me a second, I'll pull this up, because I can pull up the history. I can pull up the history of the news, I think. Okay, here we go. This is actually in the update announcement section. So we have Super Space-Time Duel Renovation Preseason. With the system updates coming with the system update comes the start of the preseason for the renovated Super Space-Time Duel. During the preseason period, there is a possibility that adjustments will be made season to season. Season to season. Season to season. Notice how it says season to season, which means that in between seasons, they can change stuff, and it says that there is a possibility that they will adjust things in between seasons. Season to season. That's what season to season means, right? When the preseason period finishes, Super Space-Time Duel will resume, continuing with the past numbering system. So that's the most important part to point out about this, and this is the entire reason why I'm making this video, is because they specifically use this wording in this post. I'm gonna read it again. During the preseason period, may I remind you, it is preseason number 2 right now. There is a possibility that adjustments will be made season to season, aka if they deem it necessary to make adjustments, they will do so in between seasons. So, okay, we've established that. The reason why I am making this video is because they have made basically zero. I mean, I haven't seen any changes. I haven't seen any changes so far. It's been 2 full days of the season being out. There have been seemingly 0 changes to the matchmaking PvP system since last season. And that is enough for me to make this video, because that tells me that they don't think this is bad enough to warrant a change in between seasons, which they talk about in this post. They will possibly adjust the matchmaking, whatever this is. There's a possibility that adjustments will be made season to season. That did not happen. My question is, why? Why not? So just very quickly, the 3 biggest problems that I think everybody has experienced with this new matchmaking change. Number 1, I mean, the most obvious one that everybody's experiencing is just a ridiculous influx of bots. The season started yesterday, and well, I'm recording this video on September 8th, so it started a day and a half ago, essentially. And what ends up happening, at least for me and for a lot of people that I know, basically everybody that I know who plays this game, is we started the new season. They dropped the unique equipment for free-to-play Zenkai Kid Goku. They dropped the new free-to-play Demon King Piccolo. I've been waiting for a Demon King Piccolo for 2.5 years. I would like to be able to jump into PvP and test out one of my favorite characters, even though he is free. I still wanted to see how he would do. And what you're met with is, I don't know, 30 plus bots in a row. I mean, I literally had to record the Demon King Piccolo showcase in Treasure Battle because I could not find a human being in PvP. I must have fought 35 bots during the Demon King Piccolo PvP video. I'll tell you guys, That showcase for Demon King Piccolo literally took 2 to 3 hours to record because I was just sifting through bots, right? I'm fighting bots, I'm fighting bots forever. I got to rank 50 overall in the world fighting just bots. Not a single person. We fought maybe 2 people out of the course of 35 bots. So bots are a huge problem. And then what happens is later in the season, unless you're, I think, like ranked 60 or 70 or above, or whatever the cutoff is for not fighting bots anymore, you will fight a person. And then if you lose, you fight like 2 to 3 bots in a row before you can fight another person. My question is, if I'm going to queue into player versus player mode, why would you even have the possibility of matching me up against the bot? I would like to know the answer. Is it because somebody loses and then you want to build up the morale to keep playing, so you intentionally give them a bot? I don't agree. I mean, again, don't play PvP if that's what your mindset's going to be. So that's the biggest issue. At least, not even just the biggest issue, but that's the most prominent issue that I've seen most people talking about, are the bots. Just it's not even like you get a bot match every 10 matches. It's you get 30 bots and then 1 person is how it works. So that's one of the big problems. One of the other big problems is just the fact that, so again, I talked about this in great detail in the other video, so I'll just briefly talk about it right now. This game has always had a pretty big problem with the best units in the game being just far and away better than the rest of the game. I would call it just, this game is very top heavy. So like right now we have a situation where the top 2 best units in the game, well, I don't even know if I can say that anymore with Namagoku being out, but the best unit in the game and like the top 3 to 4 best units in the game, I would say are quite a bit better than the rest of the game. The top 3 to 4 units. And so what ends up happening is you create an environment where all you do is you run into the same 3 to 5 characters every single match, no matter what happens. And so so let's just be clear, that's going to happen no matter what. That's the nature of the game. So unless they actually fix, or I guess change their design philosophy around character powers, or I guess or around character power level, moving forward, that's going to remain the same, even if the matchmaking system was different. But the reason why this system is so annoying is because it amplifies that, right? So this has always been a problem. Like, this has been a problem in the game since day one. People are using the best characters. That's not a problem, but when you have those characters just so far and away better than the rest of the game, that's when it creates a problem, because it makes it tough to use other characters. Again, the reason why this change is bad is not because all of a sudden you're only fighting the best characters. It's because this creates a bigger disparity between people who are using those characters and people who are not using those characters. Because with the matchmaking change, you are more likely to fight, at least, someone who is like me, or, I guess a lot of people that I interact with on social media and who are on social media talking about the game are most likely going to be players who have also, invested a significant amount of time and resources into the game. So they probably have a similar experience to me, but a lot of times what people want to do at the beginning of each season is to not use the same 3 to 4 units forever, right? They want to actually test new teams. Maybe you want to try out, I don't know, Vegeta Clan or the girls team or the Dragon Ball Saga team, who's literally in the middle of the Dragon Ball Saga campaign right now. But with this matchmaking change, you can't, because all you do is you get matched up against people who are using the best characters. And so what this change does is it further widens the gap between those characters and the rest of the game. Well, it doesn't technically make those characters better because they're the same power level, but it exacerbates the problem, which is that you can't use like non-top 10 units in the game. If you're gonna go in and try and use this Kid Goku with this new unique equipment, good luck. Even on day 1 of the season, I jumped into Treasure Battle and I was fighting God rank players with 14-star units. Like, can I test the new Kid Goku? Can I test the free-to-play Demon King Piccolo that fighting Goku and Frieza and 14-star Vegeta Blue every match? Like, that would be nice. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have skill-based matchmaking. I think the idea behind skill-based matchmaking in a vacuum is a good idea. You should be matched, theoretically, against players that are a similar skill level to you. That is, I have no problem with that philosophy at all. I don't. The problem is when you're talking about a set of players that aren't like super competitive about the game. So like for me, in the last 4 to 5 days of the season, when I'm trying to go for God rank and I hit God rank, and then at that point I would be completely fine with just seeing players using the 14-star best characters in the game. Like, sure, I'm okay with that. But the first day of the season, when I'm testing out a free-to-play character at like 7 stars or 6 stars, and I'm using a 4-year-old Legends Road character who just got a new unique equipment, like I'm good with not fighting 14-star Goku and Frieza and Vegito Blue every single match. I'm good on that. But when it comes to somebody who's ranked higher and is actually going for a high rank and wants to finish at a high rank, like God rank or even top 100 or whatever it is, sure, skill-based matchmaking could be fun because it creates a higher challenge for that person and it makes you better. It makes you a better player to fight better players. But it doesn't work for the majority of the people playing this game. And don't even get me started on skill-based matchmaking as a term. This game is not skill-based, never has been, never will be. I don't even know why they thought that was a good idea in the first place. And then the last issue I want to just quickly touch on is if we actually go over to the PvP screen here. This is actually going to affect not that many players, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because it's more of a niche thing. But they changed the way that RP works. So if you win, you get a set amount of RP. If you lose a set amount of RP. So if we take a look at last season's top 5 ranking players, if we go over to last season, take a look at this. The number 1 player in the world last season had 112,000 RP. This was not a double RP season. This was a single 2-week RP season. This guy had 112,000 RP. Look at the difference between first place and third place. 112,000 versus 79,000. Look at number 4. 60,000. There is, what is that? A 52,000 RP disparity between number 1 and number 4. Are you serious? Who thought this was a good idea? Right? If you're somebody who's gunning for number 1, the reason why this is like the antithesis of skill-based is because you're winning a set amount of RP per match, and because you're losing a set amount of RP per loss, what will happen is, as long as you're just playing matches and you maintain a 50% win rate, so you win one and you lose one and you just maintain that same pattern forever, you will gain RP. So the system is not rewarding skill, it is rewarding simple time invested into the game, right? That is not skill-based. That just means you play the game a lot. You play the game for 20 hours a day and you can get rank 1. That's what that means. So unless that's their philosophy behind what they want rank 1 to be in this game, instead of it being skill-based, which is literally the term that they use, skill-based matchmaking, then this is straight up, it's just an incorrect way of creating PvP. So, all right, so that's what I wanted to just preface this with. I know we're already 13 minutes into the game. I will shift over to Google Chrome. Okay, the screen is black. Give me a second. Let me see if I can fix this. There we go. So I made 2 posts. The first post was on Twitter, where I asked people to vote in a poll. And I made the same exact poll over on YouTube, which we'll take a look at later too. So this is the one on Twitter. We got 11,651 votes here. How has the recent Dragon Ball Legends PvP matchmaking update affected your time investment into the game? So basically, are you playing the game less? Or are you playing the game more? Or how has this affected how much you're playing the game once this update hit? So, 4.6% of players for the Twitter poll said, I play more, which is not a lot. I mean, I assume that this is not a good this is not a good result. This is not what they were looking for. As a Dragon Ball Legends developer, you're not like, 4.6% of people are playing more because of this change. That's good. So people who said this didn't really have an effect or had no change on the amount of time they play, 16.1%. I play less PvP. Now, this is probably the most important one of these choices. I play less PvP now was at 35.4%. And I put a fourth option here, which is I quit the game at 43.9%. Now, I would not read into this as 43.9% of 11,651 people quit the game due to this update, right? I think, we're coming off still, I would say, sort of coming off the heels of the 5th anniversary. And so what generally happens with these games is after these big celebrations end, a lot of people just quit the game. And then they come back for the next big celebration. So for Legends Fest, well, they'll be back. But a lot of people just don't really bother playing the game in between these major celebrations. So what will happen is, they'll come in for the 5th anniversary, they'll summon for, Ultra Vegito Blue, and then they'll put the game down and they'll come back for Legends Fest. And then the same thing will happen for Legends Fest. They'll play Legends Fest, they'll summon for, Ultra Instinct Goku or whatever is going to be the character there. And then they'll quit the game and come back for the 6th anniversary, and then that will continue. So I wouldn't really read too much into this I quit the game section. This could also just be people who quit the game for other reasons, right? So I would mostly, the two areas I would mostly be looking at is no change plus I play PvP more, and then I play PvP less. So I guess if you add these two sections together, this is what, 20.7% say I play PvP more, or it has not affected how much I play. But then 35.4% have said that I play PvP less now. That is a very, very, very bad outcome for this update. This is, I am on the cusp of calling this the worst update they've ever had for this game. I'm on the cusp of saying that. And so with that in mind, why was no change made in between these preseasons? We are in preseason 2. We just had preseason 1 end. They've surely received a multitude of feedback. They have internal data to look at. What is the reasoning behind not changing anything? I just don't understand. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll go through some of the comments here on Twitter, just as like a community reaction portion of this video. And then I'll jump over to the YouTube section where I also did the exact same poll on YouTube. My community tab, in case you guys want to go ahead and vote there too. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll down here. So it's so good I play against players in LBR. Yeah, I mean, that's, if you're somebody who's a YouTuber and you're trying to figure out a way to even show the characters, I mean, that's probably the better way to do it. Treasure Battle doesn't even work because you still fight crazy players in Treasure Battle still somehow. Dondre didn't even get to battle rank 70 last season. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Libra says, from the previous 14-day season, I played PvP for only 4 days, new record. Yeah, so less, played less. Okay, let me expand this. I quit the game back when I got Elf Goku and Frieza, but not Ultra Vegito Blue. So again, like, this is an example of what I was just talking about. This guy quit the game, but not because of the update. This game keeps being finicky on what good units I do and don't get. Yeah, because this is more about pulling characters. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, this doesn't really have anything to do with the point that I was making, but I appreciate the comment. Yep. Less PvP, but I won't quit over it. Still need to be fixed because people getting rank 70 before the season has even been on for 24 hours is just stupid. Yeah, so if you guys actually go look at the game right now, let me actually go back. Let's see here. So if we go to this season, yeah, look at this. 2 people are already battle rank 70. It hasn't even been 2 days since the season came out. Already battle rank 70. Insane. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying like, oh my god, you guys should quit the game because of this change. That's not what I'm saying. I always try and be fair with my criticism. And I said this in the prior video as well, and I'll say this in this video as well. I think Legends has done an exceptional job this entire year leading up to this change. This change, though, like, yeah, this is the standard Legends operating scheme. They took 90 steps forward from the beginning of this year. I think they actually have been monitoring and developing the game exceptionally well since January, all the way from January up until, I guess, August, because that's when this update came out, all the way until August. So the first 8 months of the year, they did a very, very good job. I think this has been their best year so far. I actually do think that. Then this update dropped, and they moved back 100 steps that way. So they moved forward 90 steps, and they moved back 100. I actually do think this update is on the cusp of being that bad. It is really, because this is something that affects every player, right? It's not like they dropped a ridiculously broken unit. No one can play the game. Like, it's one character. It's not going to affect every person. This update affects everyone, right? Unless you just don't play PvP, I guess, which then it doesn't affect you. But this is a really bad change. But again, I'm not saying quit over this change. I'm saying voice your opinion on social media. Maybe take a break. Like, if you're not having fun, take a break. That is completely fine, right? Take a break and come back later when the game's maybe more fun or a character drops that you want to get. All right. Instead of not playing, I've just stopped caring and just run what I want, and it's more fulfilling if I win or whatever if I lose. I mean, that's part of the problem right now is you can't just run whatever you want. You know, if you're fine with losing all the time, then sure, I guess. But I would argue that most people are not going to have fun queuing in to PvP with their Zenkai Legends Road Kid Goku with their new equipment, and then fighting 14-star Vegeta Blues every 5 milliseconds. Like, I just don't think many people would enjoy that. I don't. The devs really thought skill-based matchmaking was a good implementation in a gacha game where power creep is so strong. Fighting a maxed-out Goku and Frieza and Ultra Vegeta Blue every match when you just want to enjoy the units is a huge turn-off for a lot of us. It's also time for Goku and Frieza to get a check. This is ridiculous. I agree. I agree. I don't think that Namek Goku should have been as big of a check to Vegeta Blue as he was. I think he should have been more targeted towards Goku and Frieza. I mean, he kind of is targeted towards both, right? His lock-in is the biggest anti-Goku and Frieza tool that exists in the game right now, pretty much. But I actually would agree that we need a bigger targeted tool towards them because they've been too good for too long. I think once you hit 3 months of a character being out, it's time to start getting like super targeted counters towards them. Didn't change the time I spent in PvP, but I got more easily in the top 10,000. Okay. Yeah, that's because of the RP change that I just talked about. Literally quit the game with how bad this matchmaking has become, because this is actually somebody who has quit the game because of this change. It's literally either you play bots or sweats 24/7 that use Ultra Vegeta Blue, Goku and Frieza, and Blue Super Saiyan Goku. He's talking about Namek Goku. Team diversity has been even more stale than ever before. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was just talking about. Is because this change exacerbates the problem, which has always existed, but this makes it worse, where team diversity is just 0. I was planning on quitting anyway, but then this whole thing dropped as I put my account up for sale. Yeah, that makes sense. What do we got? Mainly play to unlock the CC, then focus my time doing PvE or TOP. Yeah, I mean, if you guys can, play the game without playing PvP, maybe you're gonna have a better time right now. Who knows? Stop signing into the game, and it's not mainly the PvP issue. It's just the update itself was disappointment from the Gauntlet revamp. No one wanted it's like the ridiculous PvP update. Yeah, unwinnable for me. Barely got Goku and Vegeta and Goku and Vegeta. You mean Goku Frieza, I think. And Vegeta Blue at 1 copy each. No good third unit besides Zamasu, and even the bench isn't close at all. I can try going for high rank, but top 10,000 is not even close to feasible. Yeah, okay, this is a perfect example. Quit the game as soon as the 5th anniversary ended. Might do the same when Worldwide Celebration ends with Dokkan. Just not finding any enjoyment from these games anymore. I mean, but that's something that's very common amongst games like this. People join or for the first time, or they just come back after a long break for these big celebrations. And then when the celebration ends and the game goes back to the normal schedule, they quit and then come back for the next, big celebration. Just quit the game yesterday. Can't bother with the new PvP matchmaking system. I don't like fighting formidable foe opponents, and bots are boring to fight. Facing meta teams constant daily basis hurts my brain cells. That definitely makes sense to me. Still sometimes play the game. Haven't pulled anything in 2 years. Only reason why I play is because of Dragon Ball. I'm trying to be free to play. Yeah. All right. So before update, 10,000. Top 10K minimum. After update, more cheaters. I haven't really seen many cheaters. That's probably something I can't really say much to because I haven't really fought many cheaters. Full of lag. What do I think about the lag situation? I don't know if there's been more lag since the update. There have been a few days where lag has been bad, but I don't know if that's because the servers were just not doing well on those particular days or what was going on, but I don't think there's been a significant change in how much lag there's been prior to the update versus post. I don't think there's been that much change, but maybe other people are experiencing more lag. Full 14-star God rank every 2 games. Yep, that's the main thing people are complaining about. The game shafts me a lot. Now I have characters with less than 6 stars that I want to play because they're new but impossible with that kind of PvP. Yeah, I mean, this honestly is a good... maybe it's a good segue into one more topic I wanted to quickly mention. I'm not going to go into excruciating detail here, but I was thinking to myself, like, what could possibly be their motivation for making a change like this? And the only thing I could think of is maybe they made this change to make it harder to pull for new units, because if you were going to pull for new units, you have to get them at high stars, because you're fighting people who are going to have 10+ star characters. And so if you pull for a new character, they could be insane. Like, Namek Goku is ridiculous as a unit, but at 3 stars, he's not really competing, right? So maybe that was their motivation to make this change, is they want to incentivize more people and maybe just make people think it's necessary almost to have higher starred units instead of just going for 1 copy to be able to compete. That's really the only motivation I could think of for this change, because I don't understand. Based off of the results from the polls that I've put out, it sounds like a lot of people are playing the game way less because of this update, which is really bad. The #1 metric for any of these games is playtime. That's the #1 most important thing for these, besides actual dollars earned. playtime is the most important metric for these games, for sure. All right, I think we're going to jump over to the YouTube poll here. I mean, it's pretty much the similar outcome here. We got significantly more votes here, 39,000 votes, almost 40,000 votes. So it's pretty close. So let's just go back and take a look at the percentages on the YouTube poll versus the Twitter poll. So we got 4, 16, 35, and 44. This one is 5, 17, 32, and 47. It's almost exactly the same. So, I mean, that's pretty telling. When you have 40,000 votes, which I would say is a pretty decent sample size for the amount of people who are playing this game. I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of players who play Dragon Ball Legends, but 40,000, that's a lot. Like, that is a good sample size for this. 32% are playing less. And if you add these two numbers together, it's going to be 22. So 22% out of the YouTube pollers, or respondents, I guess, are playing PvP more or playing it the same as before the update. Post-update, 32% are playing less. That is really bad. Really bad. Really bad. Plus, I mean, there's got to be at least some people in this 47% down here that say I quit the game that quit because of this change. Like, it's not going to be the whole 47. It's going to be like 10, maybe. But that's also really bad. Maybe not even 10, maybe like 5. But even 5, like 5% people quit the game because of this change. That's terrible. It's bad. Okay. Let's quickly take a look at some of these comments. Not going to make this go on for too long. We're already 26 minutes into this video here. Okay, props to the devs for getting I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Can we make this bigger? We can. Props to the devs for getting so many people to spend their time doing better things rather than playing a game that'll have you at the edge of your seat. Yeah, that's their motto, right? Have you at the edge of your seat. Wasn't another... You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure there was, like... I don't remember where this... Maybe it was on the official website or something. It's like, use your favorite characters from the Dragon Ball series or something. When in reality, you can only use like 5 units in PvP right now. Otherwise, you lose. So it's like you can't even do that. I quit the game long ago, but still watch my videos at this point. They're nostalgic. Yeah, okay, so this is actually a comment I get look how many likes this has. 481. So clearly this is a very common thing amongst viewers that I have. And not just me. I think it's other, Dragon Ball Legends creators as well. People don't play the game, but they watch the content because they like it. And it's just, this Legends, honestly, is a game where I think people get more enjoyment out of just watching than playing. I think it's more of a audience game, I guess. They like just watching it without participating. I mean, that's at least the vibe I get from when people make those comments, which is fine. I don't care. I mean, do whatever you want. If you enjoy the videos but don't play the game, sure, I'll take it. Devs actually did help us out. They made us turn this god-awful game off and go outside. Yeah, sure. I mean, again, I think if you're not enjoying the game, taking a break is the best thing to do. Do it. Haven't played Legends in about a month and a half. This is the first time I've taken a break since Red Metal Cooler and Green Broly, which was prior to the first anniversary. Yes, it was. Quit the game long before this update, but I still enjoy your content. Yeah, again, same comment. Nice. The amount of people who quit the game over new PvP is sadly not surprising. Okay, again, I would not read this as 47% of the 40,000 people who responded quit the game because of this update. That is certainly not the case. That is certainly not the case. But if just 5% of 40,000 people who voted on this poll quit the game, which is what, 2,000? Yes, 2,000 people. If even just 5% quit the game because of the update, that is really bad. So if it's higher than that, that's even worse. But even just 5% saying I quit the game because of the update, that is really bad. That is really bad. All right, let's. This is a long one. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm gonna skip this one. I quit the game ever since the 5th anniversary, but watching my content still fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, again, very common thing. People join the game or pick it up for the first time, or maybe after a long break for the big celebrations, quit the game after they're over, and then just continue doing that over and over again. The only time I ever took a break from the game was during the 4th anniversary because I was extremely unlucky and the event sucked. But after this update, I'm kind of thinking about taking another one. Yep, I'd say it's a pretty common sentiment right now. I would. Enjoying Dokkan while focusing more on other stuff. Sure. Yeah, again, play the games you enjoy. As someone who's not the best at the game, I feel like it's easier in PvP. Okay, let's see. They said it would have some rough patches starting out, so I'm not too upset and we'll wait it out. I just started playing this year, but according to everyone, it's been the best one yet. He's talking about the anniversary. which is true. I definitely think the 5th anniversary was insanely good. I'm not going to let a month or so of development deter me forever. I mean, that's fair. Again, I respect that opinion. And again, I'm trying to be as fair as possible to the developers because they have had a very, very good year this year. Which is why I'm surprised that, you know, even though they mentioned in the news that they would be, you know, adjusting things in between seasons, they didn't do anything after this first preseason, which was so obviously not even close to what it should have been. It's like the Geico theme a caveman could understand. Like, it's just, I don't understand that at all. Honestly, the existence of Goku and Frieza as well as Vegeta Blue is just a cherry on top of the new changes. I mean, sure, but again, like, the best units in the game being better than everything else by far is not a new thing. This change just makes that even worse, which is the problem. All right, I think we'll do a few more. Low-key, I'm just burnt out from Legends. I played the game for almost 4 years, and the fatigue really got to me when Ultras slowly started running the game. Well, I guess ruining could work too. And of course, this update pretty much solidifies the choice I made was right. So I guess he actually decided to quit, which, sure, I would not... I would not argue against that. PvP has gotten so bad to the point I actually just deleted the game. Playing the same 3 units over and over and over really might have been the worst experience I've had playing a game ever. 42 likes. Okay. I mean, hey, I can't argue against it because it's true. It is true. It's been 2 years since I last played and still watch me and D-Free. Sub to D-Free. Great creator. D-Free, by the way, in case you guys don't know, D-Free, I actually credit him as the person who got me into creating content. So I credit D-Free. I do. From the point I lost to Ultra Vegeta Blue 1v3 my team 3 matches in a row, I knew that this game was not going anywhere anymore. I used to spend more time in PvP. Now I started to learn a new language with my spare time. That's cool. Thanks, Dragon Ball Legends. I passed the offer of being at the edge of my seat every single match. Yeah. That's cool though. Like this update was the catalyst for this guy learning a new language. That's awesome. Honestly, just quitting the game after every big celebration and coming back on the next one. Exactly what I said. Yes. Let's see the response here. Yep. I mean, I don't know if it's not healthy for the game, but it might be healthy for you. Maybe if you don't enjoy the game and play it every single day, like that might be the better way to play the game for you potentially. I don't play the game anymore, but still watch your videos. Yes, a very, very common comment. I've been playing since right after the 2nd anniversary, and boy, am I glad to have the meta. It's not exactly fun, but I finally have the power units because even you're saying own the meta characters. Okay. Even a year ago during the 4th anniversary, I had hell for playing the game. Now all I end up fighting is bots. Yeah, this guy finally pulls like the meta team, and then he's only fighting bots now. All right, we'll do one more. I just started playing after a break, and I hit top 30,000 in battle rank 41. I guess the update really sent everyone away. I hit God rank already, so I'm satisfied just playing casually to test out my units. So there we go. I think we're going to end here. I pretty much said everything I have to say about this update. Again, I will leave a link down below in a pinned comment to my initial video where I discussed in detail, much more detail than this video, the actual problems with this update and my thoughts on the problems. So I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. After a full season of this update being out and the changes being live, how do you feel about this update? Love to hear it. Let me know down below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.